Hello everyone. I thought I would try something a little bit different. I have been cautiously experimenting with a whole bunch of new skincare products. Doesn't mean I've thrown out my whole routine, but I have been replacing and or adding certain brands, certain products, and I thought this would be a great time to sit down and tell you about how they've been working and how I've been using them. And I thought the best way to do that was to put it on as I talk about it. So I am sitting here before you naked from here up. So I've already washed my face this morning with the Colleen Rothschild, I can't remember the name of this thing, Balancing Gel Cleanser. I'm laughing because I had to do this like 5 times. Let me just read it. Balancing Gel Cleanser. And that is my go-to in the morning, barring certain circumstances. So let's start with one of the new cleansers I want to talk to you about. This is the Somerville DeliKate, get it? Soothing Cleanser, and it's a stressed skin saver. So the point of this and why I reached for it is because sometimes my skin does feel a little more stressed, a little sensitive. Maybe I tried a new product that it did not react well to, or I was out in the sun too long and I'm feeling a little dry and dehydrated, not from exposure, just from being outside in heat. And this has been a really nice cleanser to reach for in the morning and sometimes in the evening. So I like having this as a backup. And it says you can use it AM and PM and to apply a small amount to wet skin and massage for up to 30 seconds, rinse and gently pat dry. There's really nothing to it. I like the squeezy tube. It's fragrance free. It's just like a little white creamy cleanser. It doesn't run or anything. It has some consistency to it. The next part of my routine is not exactly new, but I'm gonna go through my whole morning routine while we talk. And that is to reach for my Colleen Rothschild Micro Mineral Soothing Toner. This is particularly good if you have sensitive skin. It seems to have desensitized my skin, which is maybe why I'm able to start trying all these new products. And it has the power of natural crystals and hydrating humectants. I don't really care what's in it at this point. All I know is that this little magical stuff, put a very little amount on the cotton round, kind of smush the cotton round together, and then just sweep it all over the place. It's, as I was saying, I'm all over the place. It would be nice if my coffee digested so I could focus. I find that my skin, since using this, is far less reactive. Now I don't go around the eye area. I kind of stay away from that. And then we are done. Go down the neck as well. And that is great. Now for the next step, this part is new. So there are 2 products that I have added into my skincare routine. One I used to use all the time and just sort of, I don't know, started playing with other things and I brought it back. It's another Colleen Rothschild product. It's her Mandelic Acid Radiance Serum. This is a smaller one from a multi-pack of serums. I do this next because it's a little bit thinner than the next product. And I've had people ask, and I've seen people ask on other skincare videos, how do you know in which order to apply your products? You go from lightest weight or lowest viscosity to highest. So this is a little more fluid, and again, I just use my fingers and I rub it all over my face except my eye area. So this does have a tacky kind of feel to it. It gets absorbed in. I use about a half pump. I wouldn't even say I use a full pump. Generally, I like to kind of wait a little bit in between products, but for the purposes of this video, we're just gonna move right through. The next one I've talked about a lot. You've never seen me actually use it. It's from Skinceuticals. This is their CE Ferulic Combination Antioxidant Treatment containing L-ascorbic acid. So with this, 4 or 5 drops, and it's starting to oxidize, which means it's time to get, and I'm almost at the bottom, time to order a new one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's at the high end. Kind of put it between, and I pat that and then rub it. Because it actually goes on a little stickier and a little tackier than the Mandelic Acid Serum. So I put this on after. Next, I usually go for my eye cream. I do my eye cream before I do my full facial moisturizer because I feel like I put the eye cream on first, and then as I'm rubbing in or patting in or whatever, the moisturizer kind of blends it in even more. So this is not new. It's one of my all-time favorites, the Colleen Rothschild Complete Eye Cream. As you can see, we have hit the bottom, and I just do the tiniest amount and pat that in like so. I'm barely touching my skin as I'm rubbing it in. I could, if I wasn't gonna sit here and film, pat, 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 but in the interests of time, I'm just going to put it in like that. put it on. It's not going in, it's going on. All right, now for moisturizer. I've been flip-flopping across 3, basically, especially for the daytime. The most commonly used one that you've heard me talk about before, it's not new, is the Cerave moisturizer. Love that, have no issues with that. It's incredibly effective and the most budget-friendly moisturizer that I have. The other 2 moisturizers that I've been adding into my routine, the first one is really more of an evening one, but I just want to mention it because you can use it AM or PM. It's from that same Kate Somerville DeliKate line, and it's the Recovery Cream. Really great for stressed skin. This one we'll talk about again at night, but the newest one is from TULA Skincare, and it's their 24/7 Hydrating Day and Night Cream. So what I'm really loving about the TULA Skincare line, I've mentioned earlier, I'm now a TULA Skincare ambassador. I do have a discount code for y'all. I've always been intrigued by their use of probiotics in the actual skincare. Probiotics have been a huge part of our family's gut health for almost 3 years now. When my youngest son was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, that was one of the things they really emphasized, is that he start taking a daily probiotic. They have a specific one they recommend for Crohn's and colitis patients, but you know, probiotics are great on the inside. Why not put it on the outside? So that always caught my eye. I'm just looking down to read the label. It also, like I said, has probiotics. It has superfoods in it like blueberry and turmeric, and it's supposed to help with evening your skin tone, brightening, moisturizing, and what have you. So I do really like this little guy right here, and that's what we're gonna use today. This is far too much, but it has like a very lightweight feeling, and it always feels cold. This is really too much, but what the heck. Now, normally I'm not fully dressed when I'm putting on my skincare, so I would bring this all the way down my neck and down into my chest, but it's kind of hard to do when you're actually dressed for the day. And it absorbs so nicely. I do put it across my eyes as well. It absorbs really nicely. There's no scent, there's nothing bad. And like I said, my skin is very sensitive and dry, I should have mentioned. And it's done really well with this. So very pleased with this new addition. Now for possibly the most important part of the morning skincare routine, it is the sunscreen. Now, ideally, you would definitely wait for your moisturizer to sink in for a little bit before you slap this on. I have gone from being not just reluctant to use sunscreen because I've had so many bad reactions, but like when I find one, I just fixate on that one, to starting to become a sunscreen junkie. And I have 3 that I'm sort of rotating around, or what, I don't know. So the first one, I've used this one before. It's from eltaMD, and it's their UV Physical Broad Spectrum SPF 41. This is 100% mineral sunscreen. I have to just use mineral sunscreens. My face does not like any kind of chemical sunscreen. And the reason I like this one is it is lightly tinted. I'm gonna show you it up against another one in a minute. The newest one that I've added to my collection is also from eltaMD, and it is the UV Elements line Broad Spectrum SPF 44. Now, what is the difference between the 2 of these? Well, the SPF 44 is supposed to be slightly more moisturizing. It has hyaluronic acid in it, which this one does not, and it has a darker tint and 3 more SPF. So let me show you them swatched side by side. So I think you can see on the top is the SPF 41, on the bottom is the SPF 44. One of the reasons I went for the SPF 44 is not so much for the moisturizing property. I feel like I've got that with my normal skincare. It's just that I've been fake tanning, and the 41 shade actually appears white on my skin, which is a phenomenon I have not personally experienced before. So I love both of them, and I really prefer a sunscreen that has a little bit of a tint to it. Why not? Just another layer of help evening all of this out. I said that eltaMD is my newest. It's the newest in my eltaMD collection. My newest one is also from TULA Skincare. It is their Protect and Glow Daily Sunscreen Gel, which is kind of cool. It's a different consistency. It is SPF 30 versus 41 and 44, but it is supposed to also protect against blue light, which I don't go outside very often. In fact, in the summer months, I go outside less because the heat is so oppressive, but I do spend a lot of time in front of blue light. So when I'm not leaving the house, this is what I reach for. I also want to read you some of the ingredients in this because it's very different from what I normally see on the back of a sunscreen bottle. It has probiotics to hydrate and prevent water loss, which it's also supposed to strengthen the skin barrier. It has pineapple and papaya to promote even skin tone, which I clearly desperately need. Wild butterfly ginger root protects against the blue light stress, and that's about it. So I am going outside today. I'm actually planning on going to the nursery after this to look at some plants. I am going to go with my darkest option, the SPF 44. Remember, guidelines recommend at least a 1/4 teaspoon. This is a pretty good chunk of sunscreen here. Just gonna dot that all over the place, and then whatever's left over, I will put on my ears and stuff like that. And just slap it on. As you can see, it's still lighter than my fake tan, which is really exciting for me. But as you can see, once it's absorbed into the skin, and don't worry, when I'm done filming, I'll make sure I get it like all over the place. I just don't want to get it on my shirt right now. Once it's absorbed, it blends in just fine. I don't really think it did anything as far as evening out my skin tone. It's not gonna like have the same corrective effect as foundation and concealer, but if your skin is in really good shape, that might be all that you need. I feel like this counts as skincare. It goes on your skin, and it is an oldie, but now a new favorite. I have been experimenting with different antiperspirants, not deodorants. I'm not jumping on that train. Please don't lecture me. We all make our own choices. We pick our poisons, and I don't want a deodorant. I want an antiperspirant because being soaking wet is still not an attractive thing, and it's incredibly uncomfortable for me. Maybe if I lived in Canada, the Antarctic, a deodorant would be fine, but I don't. It's easily 100 degrees now through October every day. So I want an antiperspirant and a deodorant. And I love the Donna Karan antiperspirant in the winter, but once it started getting warm, it is just not effective against sweat. It's just not. So back to an oldie but a goodie. My all-time favorite, I've already applied it. We're not applying this on screen. It's the Mitchum 48-hour protective invisible solid antiperspirant and deodorant. You can pick whatever scent. I currently picked up a 2-pack of Shower Fresh. If you are having a hard time finding this in your local drugstore, grocery store, whatever, I just finally gave up looking and went to Amazon where it was cheaper, and I got it the very next day. So yay for Amazon. Now, let's pretend it is now nighttime. I'm not gonna go through my whole evening skincare routine, but I am gonna highlight a few new things. So first, how to get it off. I've been going through all the different dry oils. I really enjoy doing a 2-step cleanse and using an oil to get the first round of stuff off my face. Again, a new one from TULA. This is the TULA Skincare #NoMakeup replenishing cleansing oil. I love this stuff. I absolutely love it. It has a drier, I know this is an oxymoron. It has a drier feel to it. It's not as runny and slippery feeling as other cleansing oils I've used. It almost feels like a dry oil. So I just feel less greasy and gross, frankly, but it still gets everything off. This particular one, I love their labeling. This particular one is infused with probiotics and rice bran to remove all traces of makeup and pore clogging debris. It does have ceramides in it and Arctic winged kelp. I do always follow up with my all-time favorite evening cleanser. I don't think that's going to ever change. The Colleen Rothschild Radiant Cleansing Balm, the best cleansing balm ever created on this planet, I think. This isn't exactly new. I have been using Curology, which is a combination of 3 ingredients since November, but my formula recently changed. It is now made up of clindamycin is at 1%. That's an antibacterial that helps prevent acne. Trentanoin is up to 0.04%, which is basically, it's Retin-A. That's just the generic name for it. And then azelaic acid is now up to 7%, which helps to brighten an even skin tone. I use this every single night, no issues. So I am probably going to contact my provider through Curology and tell them to raise the Retin-A just a little bit more, but I might wait till the end of the summer just because you are more sensitive to the sun when using a Trentanoin product. So even though I use plenty of sunscreen, maybe best to wait to up it for a few more months. So that is still what I use nightly, just the formula has changed. Another thing that has changed, like I mentioned before, is the evening moisturizer. Now I should say, I still follow up as my very last step to seal in everything with a little pump of the Colleen Rothschild Face Oil number 9. Just sort of is like that magic like blanket that tucks your face in at night. I don't know, I know that sounds insane. But if my skin is feeling stressed, if I've tried a new face mask or something that just irritated my skin, what have you, this is what I go for. And like I mentioned, it's the Kate Somerville DeliKate Recovery Cream. It's a stressed skin saver and or soother. And it's nice heft to it too. But I go back and forth again between this and the TULA at night. It just sort of depends what state my skin feels in. And then the very last step, and I do this pretty much every night if I've been fake tanning, is after the moisturizer and the oil has all been evenly distributed and fairly well absorbed into my skin, I follow up with a hefty mist of this. It is the Saint-Tropez Purity Self Tan Bronzing Water Face Mist. It goes right over everything. And the reason I do it every night is because with all the acids and all the exfoliants, any fake tan that I have put on, like through drops, through bronzing mousse or what have you, kind of gets taken down pretty quickly. So this helps to keep that fake tan going longer on my face. And I like the mist because it gets into my hairline, kind of down onto my neck and ears, so there's no line of demarcation. As far as the state of my general skin, I am really pleased with where it is right now. I think it is much improved. I rarely, if ever, break out. My tone has improved quite a bit. Now, the last time I got any kind of Botox or Jeuveau, which is a different form of Botox, was January. So I am more than overdue, and I get it mostly up here. I don't have the 11s. I make this face a lot, but I don't get the 11th, but I mostly get it up here. I do a little bit in my crow's feet, and I need to make an appointment because they're open again and that needs to happen. The other thing I'm looking into, I know almost nothing about. A couple of you have recommended that I look into this. It is a procedure, it's a mask. I think it's a chemical peel that is done in the office of a doctor, like a dermatologist, ideally. And it's called, I might be pronouncing this wrong, Cosmelan. It is specifically geared towards people with uneven skin tone, particularly those that have melasma. I have, where is it? I'm looking in the mirror. I have a weird patch here. Obviously, I have a lot going on here and here. I did not grow up with this. I'm fairly certain it's not due to sun damage because I've never been in the sun, but hormones, all that, who knows? But there it is. So ideally, I'm looking into doing that in the fall when things settle down and I can maybe take a week off from filming. So if my face starts peeling off, I can do that. But I don't know really that much about it. I'm still in the research phase. I don't even know if my dermatologist offers that in their office or not. So if you've tried it or know anything about it, please let me know in the comments below. And of course, whatever treatment I end up doing, I will share that with you and let you know how that experience goes. If you have stuck around to the end of this video, there is a reward for that, little prize, hopefully. First of all, I have to show you my outfit of the day because you are only seeing from here up and I am feeling such like a late 80s, early 90s flashback happening here. You've got to see this outfit. So let me scooch over and insert that picture. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I'm feeling very, I don't know, I'm revisiting my 13-year-old self. So the real prize is not a picture of my outfit, no. The real prize is, like I said, I have a relationship with TULA Skincare and they very generously sent me a second box of everything that they sent me prior to give to one of you. So let me go through this box really quickly because there's stuff in here. So we have the 24/7 Moisture Hydrating Day and Night Cream. We have the, oh, okay, so this is a product they sent me that I gave to Michael because I can't use anything with glycolic. It is the Get Toned Pro Glycolic 10% Resurfacing Toner. I've heard great things. My face would explode. So this, I can't tell you how effective it is. Michael likes it, if that tells you anything. You will also get a brand new box of the No Makeup Replenishing Cleansing Oil, a box of the Protect and Glow Daily Sunscreen, and then lastly, you get the rose version of the Glow and Get It Eye Balm. I did not put mine on. I always put that on last, just before I put on my makeup. Just kind of gives a little bit of brightness before we go in with the fun stuff. So that is everything. Hopefully you are still here to hear about it. I will put the Rafflecopter entry form in the description box. There are no limitations. Wherever you are in the world, I will send this to you. So this will be open for a full week and then I will close it. YouTube, of course, limits, they got rid of the messaging thing. So please, in the Rafflecopter entry, you must put your email. I have to be able to get in touch with you. And I will post the winner in the community tab and in Instagram, just so everybody knows who won. Alrighty, thank you for spending way too much time with me today. I'm sorry this went so long. I can talk about these products, well, forever it appears. But thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you're having a wonderful day and thank you for choosing to spend some of the time you have with me and I'll see you in the next video. I'm wearing makeup next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.